In the vastness of Gondwa's many environments, each capable of hosting unique species, the ability to blend in with your surroundings is a key adaptation necessary for both hiding and stalking. Most bigger species are less mobile and do not tend to distance themselves too far from their original territory, but other, usually smaller genera, prefer to move around frequently to adapt to their survival needs. Today, we explore one of the species on Gondwa that is the latter, and how it constantly adapts to its surroundings to keep itself concealed. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Camptosaurus. Meaning flexible lizard, these robust animals are impeccable at escaping foes at grand speeds. They are also very good jumpers, yet, despite what one may assume from media portrayals, Camptosaurus prefer more secluded and highly vegetated environments to hide and rest in. This particular individual is a male, and it seems to be awakening from a deep slumber. Looking at this male's coloration, one can easily identify in what way that its time living in this environment has impacted it. Mostly a mix of greens and browns and even yellows, this color combination is perfect for blending in with the surrounding vegetation in this temperate forest. Despite the Camptosaurus being comfortable in this environment, males such as this individual cannot stay in the same space forever. Camptosaurus groups are primarily female led, and thus males can be found in solo or bachelor groups, as seen here. But if this male desires to create offspring of his own, it's imperative he must venture out into other areas where females may be. And so, this male begins an adventure around Ganwa's upper range, seeking an eligible mate and a new home. A few weeks later, after the Camptosaurus has left its original home, it has moved to an area more colorful and expansive. This area's colorfulness is due to the unique mineral contents throughout the hills, which in turn allows some plant matter to grow here that it simply cannot in other places. The best example is that of the banana like fruits that are abundant here, to which this Camptosaurus clearly enjoys consuming. The combination of a more diverse diet, more colorful environment, and open hills is reflected in the male Camptosaurus. It now dons more vibrant colors than before, matching the vibrant environment perfectly. The ability to change colors from muted greens to an array such as this is crucial to the expansive thriving of the Camptosaurus. However, this area is not perfect for the male. Though it contains many different food items for it to consume, it lacks proper hiding places, forcing the Camptosaurus to be in less protected shelters and more exposed to the natural elements. It just isn't the living space this male is looking for, and thus it begins yet another journey. A little over 2 weeks has passed since the last encounter with the male, and the changes have shown itself. It now finds itself in dry and rocky shrublands, and the once vibrant scales are now a dirty hide, covered in grays and browns. Though it is not as visually pleasing as before, it is great for blending in with the climate here. Now the male primarily consumes roots for food and additional water. But the drier climate is not as empty as it may seem, and the Camptosaurus is aware of that fact. Carnotaurus, the meat-eating bull, one of the faster and stronger predators in Gondwa despite their size. Able to keep up with the speed of a Camptosaurus, the male has no choice but to hide in the nearby shrubbery. It seems this Camptosaurus' hyper-awareness has paid off. The Carnotaurus was just as well camouflaged as him, and if it was aware of his presence, the Camptosaurus may not be alive. But this dangerous environment is no longer safe for the male, and he dashes south to hopefully find a more lush and welcoming place. Nearly a month has passed for this male Camptosaurus, and for him, the time he has to discover a mate is slowly thinning. The Camptosaurus has now found itself in a warm swamp where he has lived for quite some time. The sun is blocked out by a thick canopy, yet many points in the swamp are constantly basked in the sun, and this is where much of the food and water is located. The arid and dull hide has been replaced by bright green scales and colorful patterns, which blends in with the greenery present, but is also appealing to females who may be located around here. Alas, the male has still not encountered a female so late into the year, and his frustration is noticeable. He is much more aggressive and upset at his lack of success during this period, and if he's not careful, his vibrant colors will not serve their intended purpose and may even be a hindrance. Today, the male's frustration has pushed him to make a desperate and dangerous decision to move south more to have another chance of finding a mate. In order to pass, however, he must swim across a body of water as deep as it is wide. The strong legs of Camptosaurus are incredible for moving on land, but absolutely terrible for swimming, and thus the male cannot move away from anything that may be lurking underwater. Sarcosuchus, predator perfectly blended into the murky swamp depths. The bright colors the male has used to attract a mate sticks out for the Sarcosuchus to easily identify. It seems this super crocodilian will catch a mighty meal for itself. The Camptosaurus has noticed the feeling of a rising figure from the water and cries out in fear. It may already be too late. It seems this male's luck has blessed it to live another day. A few days later, the male has found itself in another temperate forest, although it is not like the one it lived in so long ago. This is more akin to a birch forest, with large bushes packed with berries and places available for the Camptosaurus to hide and sleep in. Its skin has reverted to muted greens, like it had started with, perfect for concealing itself from the larger foliage, but still vibrant enough to potentially catch a mate. But the mating season draws to its end soon, and the Camptosaurus has still not encountered a mate. It seems this season the male will go without a mate, but at least he possesses a fantastic spot to live in. Familiar sounds has gotten the attention of the male, and he cautiously begins to approach it. A female Camptosaurus, just what the male had been looking for all this time. It seems he will attempt to engage the female in a crouched manner to become as unthreatening as possible. The female is far more interested in protecting her food than mating, but the male continues his movements and tries a new strategy. The male has certainly caught the female's attention now. It seems the two have gotten along after all. Together, the two will create a new generation of Camptosaurs and spread the beneficial genes possessed to allow them to be able to thrive anywhere they desire, as their parents have done before them. Camptosaurus are one of the species living on Gondwa who utilize camouflage better than most, though other inhabitants utilize it as well. Predators also use it to conceal themselves from the sight of prey in order to get the element of surprise to incapacitate them, as demonstrated here too. Camouflage is an exceptional and wide range tactic for being one with the environment, and what was documented here today proves both the benefits and the downsides. But that concludes this video, and we here at the Prehistoric Animals of Arazoa Institution hope you enjoyed this documentation and learned a thing or two about the incredible wildlife of Gondwa. This is Dr. Skipper signing off.